This is my audience.
Hi, I'm Kenzie.
I'm Lakin. I'm Colleen.
Have you ever felt anxious, had trouble sleeping, eating, or even concentrating? Maybe you're just going through a stressful part of your life, a big exam coming up, or a family issue. But what if you felt that way all the time? That's what generalized anxiety disorder is. Generalized anxiety disorder is an uncomfortable and irrational worry about everyday parts of life. A person with GAD is always in constant worry about everything, even when there's nothing stressing them out. This worry messing with their daily function. In my speech, I will attempt to go more in depth on the symptoms, diagnosis, and treatment of GAD. Individuals with GAD can't really get rid of their worries. They can't seem to relax themselves. They get startled easily, which makes them very, very jumpy, and they have a difficult time concentrating on even the littlest things. Individuals often have a problem falling asleep and even staying asleep. Some physical symptoms that come with anxiety can include fatigue, constant headaches, muscle tension, aches, problems swallowing, shaking, twitching, irritability, sweating, nausea, and even feeling like you can't breathe sometimes. GAD often develops slowly, and most individuals don't find out that they have anxiety until they're in their late teens. Their symptoms may change as they grow, and typically they get worse while individuals have a lot of stress going on in their life. When an anxiety level is only mild, individuals can usually have a social life, go to school, and even have a job. Even though individuals don't usually avoid situations, they have a very difficult time completing even the simplest tasks. Waking up in the morning is really difficult for them. Putting on clothes, feeling like they have even a part in the world. Now that I've informed you on some of the symptoms and when they occur during your lifetime with an individual with GAD, I can tell you how to diagnose someone who may be showing some signs. A doctor will take steps to help diagnosis. One way that they will go about it is by asking a series of questions to the individual and asking about the family's medical history. Doctors sometimes will go do a physical examination. To be diagnosed with GAD, the individual must meet almost all of the criteria, the diagnosis. This comes from the Statistical Manual of Medical Disorders. The criteria that you must meet comes from a manual, and excessive anxiety and worry about several events or activities most days for at least 6 months. Not being able to control your feelings of worry no matter how hard you try. Some individuals will have excessive panic attacks. Sleep problems, which is falling asleep, staying asleep, or even waking up in the morning, and fatigue. People with GAD usually also come with a different mat of health problems, such as phobias, depression, different kinds of substance abuse, and post-traumatic stress disorder. An example of an individual, a female or a male, who has come home from war. They usually are diagnosed with GAD because they also have been diagnosed with PTSD. Since you know more on the criteria on how a diagnosis is made, I'll tell you about what you can do to treat GAD. GAD is most often treated with therapy, medication, or a combination of both. Behavioral therapy is one way to treat GAD. And it can teach the individual new and positive ways of thinking, behaving, and reacting to certain situations. There are 2 different types of medication that are used in the treatment of GAD. One is an antidepressant, which works with the neurotransmitters in your brain, and it's the most common form. The most common type is Zoloft, which can be prescribed by your doctor. So I would talk to your doctor about it if you feel like you might have anxiety problems. The second time is acetaminophen, and there are 2 different kinds that are most commonly used, Xanax and Valium. And you can also talk to your doctor about the 2 of those and see which one fits you best. In conclusion, I've covered the basics of GAD. I've told you about the symptoms, the diagnosis, and the treatment options. Most individuals have had experiences with anxiety and depression throughout their lifetime, serious or not serious, but when you actually find out that you have a disorder, it becomes a very serious issue. I hope that my speech informed you more about generalized anxiety disorder and that you can take this information and learn more about it. Thank you.